Assalamualaikum. Welcome to another episode of Alumni Podcast by Danic Alumni Network. This is your host Tehseen Azhar, Head of Alumni Relations. And today we have Mr. Saad Fasihi with us, who's a graduate of our batch 2023. Saad is currently working at Global Ship Services as a legal counsel. Welcome, Saad, to our podcast.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good as well.
Welcome again. So to start with, Saad, what inspired you to pursue a career in maritime law?
So basically, it's like a dilemma of every student when they are pursuing law that when they are in first year and second year and the third year,
Right.
they don't know what to do.
Okay.
Either go into litigation, corporate, or in house. So that was the case with me as well. In my first year, I did my internship in litigation. In my
Okay.
second year, I did my internship in corporate. And in third year, I did my internship in in-house. So to give a fair chance to every field and then decide after taking a calculated risk. And then there came an opportunity which I saw on LinkedIn that there was a maritime company where I'm working right now, Global Ship Services.
Okay.
They're offering a legal internship. So I was like every law student who applies any vacancy they get for the internship, I did that as well. And that's where my interest peaked because maritime law is really different from every other law that we're practicing. Either it's civil law, criminal law, corporate law.
Okay.
So it is like multifaceted and very interesting cases and very interesting, I would say, branches in maritime law that piqued my interest, to be precise.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you give an overview of what is about maritime law and how it differs from the rest of the legal fields?
Yeah. So maritime law, basically, it's a very vast field and
Right.
it has cases, I would say, around like maritime insurance and debt
Okay.
recovery.
Right.
And besides that, it has environmental protection cases
Okay.
and like when you have to arrest ships. So it revolves around that. And whereas on the other hand, when you are doing corporate law or criminal law, you know that you would get cases for like maybe also in like family law as well. You would get like family cases for divorce, or in like criminal cases, you would go get cases for like theft, murder, and in corporate, you would get there are no cases in corporate law, but like the agreements or like contracts and stuff like that. So it's totally different from maritime
Or any other corporate or litigation?
or litigation practice.
Right. So what are the key international treaties or conventions that govern this maritime law?
Yeah, so this is the fun part here. The maritime law is not really governed under one national law. Like it is like governed by, you would say, a bouquet of multiple laws and treaties and conventions. Like one of them is like Maritime Labor Convention
Okay.
that protects the seafarers' rights.
Okay.
So because the seafarers are on like a very long voyage and stuff like that, so their well-being and like their mental well-being is like the top priority, should be the top priority of the ship owner and the ship management.
Right.
Besides that, we have like ship arrest conventions.
Okay.
We have
Ship arrest.
yeah, like if one of the companies they're not paying their dues on time, and like when the company that is on the receiving end decides to arrest a ship, they have to see that what international waters is the vessel traveling in,
Okay.
and whether that jurisdiction allows to arrest the vessel or not. So that's a little complicated, but it's very interesting.
Because you have to see the international seas laws as well.
Exactly. And then besides that, we have the Hague-Visby rules. That is also a convention that actually deals with the claims and damages of goods
Okay.
on vessel.
Okay.
So it's basically, I would say, there's no one law, national law, that is dealing with the whole maritime industry.
Okay.
But there are like different treaties,
Multiple
conventions,
laws.
and national laws that are dealing with this. It depends on the issue on hand.
And it depends on the country as well. Because again,
As well, exactly.
Again,
Because with the
international
vessel-
seas.
Yeah, international seas and with the vessel as well, because vessel have their own state flag as well. Yeah, so with the state flag, what do the vessel owners do is that they choose the state flags of the countries which laws are like very lenient or stuff like that. So like they would choose Panama or British Virgin Islands or countries like that, which have relatively more lenient laws in relation to maritime and everything. So most of the vessels that you will see that will have state flags of Panama.
Panama.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think? What are the essential skills and qualifications to be part of this particular field?
I would say you should have a person who's entering into the maritime industry should have very good commercial awareness.
Okay.
Commercial awareness is very important in this maritime industry. And besides that, I would say it's like usually when you're drafting contracts and everything, you need your research to be on very high level research. And
Yes.
besides that, drafting. And
Okay.
I would say when you're entering this field, you should have a mentor. A mentor is very important in giving you guidance in any field. I'm not just talking about maritime law. In any field, you need a mentor to guide you through the steps because at one point you get lost. That where should I go? What is the next step? And how should I proceed with that?
Okay.
A mentor helps with their experience to like go with it. And but last not the least, you should have a law degree.
Also, you should be passionate about this.
Passionate about this. Yeah. It's a niche field, and like there are not many lawyers in maritime law. Like if you would, I don't know any lawyer in Pakistan that that has a sole practice of maritime law.
Maritime law. Okay.
They are doing it different with civil law, with criminal law, with corporate law, but they are not like wholly and solely doing maritime law.
Okay.
So yeah.
So okay, not in just one thing, no?
Yeah, exactly.
Multiple things they are involved in. So how does a typical day looks like for a maritime lawyer?
A typical day is like very hectic because our industry is like 24/7, 365 days a year.
Okay.
So because we deal internationally and we have our back offices here, so I would explain you like how this actually works. Like all the big companies in the world, be it our company, be it other companies like Evergreen or Costco, they all have their back offices in countries like UAE, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, India, and they actually they have their international offices, but their main operation is running from their back offices.
Achha.
Yeah.
Right.
So like it's like with the different time zone and everything, you have to be on your foot on your toes 24/7
24/7.
because you never know you get a call from Singapore, you get a call from Europe, you get a call from US, and we being a US company, US based company, we have a very different time zone. Like if it's 11:30 here in the morning, it's like 12:30 at night there, and like you can't really
With the time difference
time
around.
difference really matters a lot, and it's like a very demanding job. You have to be like on your toes all day, and like it's very hectic. I would say hectic and chaotic. Yeah.
Hectic and chaotic. Okay. So what are your biggest challenges in the maritime this particular field, and how you are facing those international cases? I'll say.
So when I was entering the field, not gonna lie, I was a bit scared because I never heard of maritime law before, and I was like, okay, it's like your inner self was speaking to you that okay, this is the field that I should go in, and it's different. It's like made for me.
Okay.
So that was I was a bit nervous, and like there aren't many good maritime lawyers in our country as well. There may be few, but I don't know any of them. So facing those challenges, like it was like for me, it was like either swim or drown. So like you have to prove yourself,
Exactly.
or either you will drown, because it's like even like in the hierarchy of the company, people expect a lot from you. Like okay, you're graduated from a good university and stuff like that, so they expect a lot, even though they don't know that I don't have any background of maritime law. But with the due course of time, you learn and everything, and my mentors, my bosses are like very cooperative, so they guide me through it and everything like that. But there was this one case I would like to discuss. That was a debt recovery case that basically our office in UAE had a debt recovery that was pending for 3 years.
Achha.
And that we weren't able to like get the money from the company. And that was a very interesting case for me because in that case I hired an external counsel based in UK, and I worked with that law firm that was a solely maritime law firm. I worked with that law firm, and the company was based in India. Who took our money? Yeah.
Okay.
So we sent them a legal notice that was based in Gujarat.
Achha.
And we sent them a legal notice, and we did all the due procedure with our lawyer in India through our lawyer in UK. And they got like a bit intimidated, and they returned our money after 3 years. So that was like a big victory for me as well, because in the history of our company,
you got recovered.
We recovered the bad debt. So that was a very good thing, because in our company, when a debt goes into that bad debt category, it's like it's never going to be recovered. So I took that out and I recovered that for the company. So that was I would say that was a good achievement, because it was only like my 3rd month in the company.
Oh, very nice. So that's a big accomplishment as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are the most common disputes in the maritime law?
In maritime law, I would say the common disputes, first of all, the debt recovery one.
Debt one, okay.
And the ship arrests, like when you arrest the ships in the international waters, when they're like, I would say, they haven't like paid on time, and mostly ship arrests are because of the payment issues. And besides that, marine insurance plays a very big role, because if you are supplying goods to a vessel and your goods are not insured, that will be a liability on you, because if the ship
insurance.
Insurance. Because if the ship in any way gets crashed or like stuck or like whatever, all that the goods that you supplied, that you won't be able to recover that. So that's why maritime insurance matters a lot. And even in like, I would say in the ship management aspect, like when you are managing the ship, right now I was talking about from the point of view of a ship supplier. But now if we look at the ship management point of view, basically what the people think that ship managers are the owners of the vessels, but that's not the case. Ship owners are different, ship managers are different. And the owners, just to be on the safe side, they give their ships to the ship managers that you pay us this amount and you can manage our ships for the whole year, and we won't ask for you, we will just ask for that amount that is due at the end of the year, and everything like that's all their agreement and stuff. So what happens is that whenever a ship supplier's payment is stuck with the ship manager, the ship supplier's point of view is that we have to get money from the manager, but it's not like that. It's the duty of the ship supplier to get the money from the ship owner, not the ship manager. Because when you are communicating with the ship manager, they tell it in their email, they have the disclaimers that we are acting as agents only on behalf of owners. So that is something that the ship suppliers and other catering companies as well in the shipping industry don't focus on, and they get confused with that. So that is something,
because you're like the third party.
You're like the third party. So you have to be like very, I would say, alert in that aspect, that who to reach out to get your money from. Don't be mistaken. So that's something very technical that you have to deal with. It's all about like words and jargons and everything that makes you confused, but you have to like do that research and be on your topmost game to be in this industry.
So my next question is regarding that, something like what role maritime lawyers play in the environmental protection and the regulations, because that is something that you mentioned, that they are the middlemans or the manager, the owners are different, they don't even know what exactly is happening around. So how these regulations and things comes in?
Okay, so basically so we were now talking about Global Ship Services, that is a ship supply company. So in our global group of companies, there is one of our company that is Liberty Catering. Liberty Catering is a company that serves the vessels on contractual basis. In Global Ship Services, what happens that a vessel comes to a port, the captain orders goods from us and we deliver them. But under Liberty Catering, we have contractual vessels. That there are 4 vessels. These 4 vessels, wherever they go in the world, whichever port they go, they will buy through Liberty Catering for 6 months or 1 year. That depends on the contract.
Okay.
So this is where the regulations and this quality management and environmental management comes, because these companies have to be ISO certified.
Okay.
ISO certified, there are two certifications which are like the most important.
Okay.
First one is the 14001, that is for the environmental management system.
Okay.
And the second one is ISO 9001, that is for
Okay.
quality management system. These two certifications are like very important for a catering company to have, a ship catering company, because that shows the seriousness of the company towards the company they are reaching out to have their ships on board. And this is also because this is not an easy task to get a ISO certification.
Definitely.
They audit your offices, they audit your warehouses, they check your staff, they check everything. So it's like a process that takes over a year to get in certification.
Right.
So I would say that maritime lawyer plays a very huge role in getting those certifications and documentation and compliance with those companies, because without those certifications, you can't do business in the shipping industry. These two certifications, and there are many more, but they are like complementary. These two are the main. And if we are talking about complementary, there are also two associations. One name is EMPA and the other was ISA. The EMPA association is like the International Marine Purchasing Association.
Okay.
That association basically is it's made for networking for all the maritime purchasers around the world, and they are headquartered in London.
Okay.
The other one is ISA. ISA one is more relevant to our company because it's a ship suppliers association. It's like International Ship Suppliers and Services Association. So they also do quality audits and environmental audits of the company to make sure that they are in compliance with everything.
Following all the regulations.
Following all the regulations. So we are also ISA certified
Achha.
and IMPA certified as well.
Oh, very nice.
So
That's nice.
that is something maritime lawyers in the shipping industry need to make sure that their company, if they are in the in-house role, should be ISO certified, and these two certifications as well, the IMPA and the ISA one. Yeah.
And Pandais. Okay. So, what technology and digitization influence the part of maritime lawyers?
Okay. So from an in-house point of view, like I'm working for a company, right? So I'm not working as a maritime sole independent maritime lawyer. So in a company, we have our own ERP-based ERP ship supply system that is like in-house and it's proprietary. So we have made some custom changes to that to make sure that it is up to the mark and the state-of-the-art software that is being run in the industry. And besides that, if we talk about legal, I would say that from a legal point of view, we should take help from technology. Like it's not the 90s anymore that we are doing all the traditional practices. We should definitely go seek help towards AI, but not totally rely on that, but look towards their databases for drafting contracts, for research bases and everything. Because they have such huge databases that it will help eventually. Not like properly rely on them, but you can always
should be embedded.
It should be embedded in the system. So I would say that you should take assistance from AI in the legal world, not in just maritime, but in a legal point of view.
Legal point of view as well. So, what advice would you give to the upcoming lawyers and how they can pursue this maritime law?
I would say that I have seen something that my juniors or like the young, I would say the aspiring lawyers, they are not very well connected, or I don't see any new faces on LinkedIn or anything like that. I would say connections and like networking is the key.
Right.
Yeah, like go on LinkedIn, follow any maritime lawyer you can, connect with them. If you want to connect with me, I'm always there. I'm like 24/7 active on LinkedIn. You can connect with me and everything like that. So like networking is everything in this field, and you should be read news and stay up to date about what's happening in the maritime world. Like recently, this case happened in March 2024 where this vessel MV Dali crashed into the Baltimore Bridge. It was all over the news, and it was a very interesting case because that case settled for around $102 million in settlements. So this is something
That's huge.
Yeah, that's very huge because that vessels, I don't know, circuit system or like electronic system got crashed, and that ship was out of control. So went and crashed into the bridge of Baltimore. So this is something that is very interesting, even from a neutral person's point of view. If you hear some news, it will pique your interest. So why not go and research about it? Maybe see if that is something that piques your interest.
Definitely. So, what are the career aspects or opportunities in this maritime law in terms of both locally and internationally?
I would say internationally there are like many opportunities.
Right.
Locally there are an in-house
Okay.
manner. Sorry. Because there are not many law firms in Pakistan that solely practice maritime, and I would say there are law firms that do side by side maritime law, but they don't have the independent practice of maritime law. But if you go towards in-house, there are companies which are international companies that are based in Pakistan and Karachi as well. I can name a few as well that are dealing with maritime. They're not actually dealing with maritime law, but they are in that industry. And I would I would highly advise the students that are trying to get into maritime law that always join a company first as an in-house role, because then you will understand the whole business, that what's actually happening, and then you will be able to critically analyze and be in that situation where you can understand that what is actually happening and then act accordingly. So my advice to the students and aspiring lawyers that are trying to come into the maritime industry, that join a company first, understand the business, that what's going on. Because if you will directly dive into maritime law, you will know nothing.
Okay, definitely. You have no idea.
You have no idea. You will just do the case as what your senior is telling you to do. But if you're in a company, you would actually know that what is happening, and you will know the whole business. When you know the whole business, you are very well equipped with dealing in maritime cases and everything like
Definitely.
that. That definitely has helped me a lot. Being in a company in an in-house role, knowing everything that what's happening, and even though like in our group of companies there are like 4 different companies, so there are like 4 different branches of businesses that we are doing, be it crew agency, be it the catering, be it the ship supply and ship management. So it really helps to understand that what is actually happening and then decide accordingly, legally speaking.
Right. So you are pursuing your LLM as well in maritime?
Yeah, I am currently pursuing my LLM in maritime law from London Metropolitan University. I would say it's like very demanding, but it's fun.
Because it's a very niche program.
Yeah, it's a very niche program. So I was also like it was like very hard to find universities as well. But thanks to Denko, they assisted me in finding me a good university. So it's going on as well. And it's about to finish in like maybe 4 to 5 months.
Right.
So like I'm also like, I would say crazy about maritime law, that I'm also doing my master's in maritime law.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you, Saad, for coming on our Alumni podcast. It was lovely hearing from you about the maritime law. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to be here, and thank you for having me as well.
Thank you. So see you all next time in our next upcoming alumni podcast. Thank you.